Hello everyone, I'm Coyote Jack, and well, you heard many times that the end of physical media it's already happening. Looks like with games like the next Doom Dark Ages is going to just prove that well, physical media nowadays is an illusion of ownership. So this headline from Eurogamer: Doom the Dark Ages PS5 physical release reportedly has just 85 megabytes on disk, and Xbox isn't much bigger. Requires 85 gigabytes download to play. So it's been happening for quite a while when all started with the Xbox One era and PS4 back in 2013. Like I said, some games, excuse me, some games can actually play at version 1.0, but as time passed by, it just got worse with games forced to require patches at launch. I think the most notorious example of that shit show was Assassin's Creed Unity or Bugity, because holy fuck, 85 gigabytes to not correct the game, but well, you know how boogie shit is. But considering Dark Ages is and with Nintendo nowadays, well, we have cases where at this point, if you only want to have, if your only option is to have digital media, it should be on PC because you have a chance that someone is going to back it up for you if they disconnect the servers. But well, let's continue on. Doom Dark Ages arrives later this week, and with the physical editions not on the wall, fans are expressing dismay amid reports of the PS5 release includes just 85 megabytes of data on the disc, with the Xbox Series XS release seemingly not much bigger. So rumblings of discontent over Doom Dark Ages physical release began over the weekend after one early receiver took to social media to report that the Xbox version contained just 342 megabytes of data on the disk. That was followed by an update on the PS5 version's DOS for replay, an account dedicated to quote-unquote testing commercial releases to ensure they work internet free. That's not going to be the case anymore, and even like I said, going back to Nintendo with their fucking shit show they've been pulling out recently, the physical games they are just going to be that game keys, or even they are just only going to have a redeem code. You know, they are pulling out games for Windows Live, but with Nintendo. And this is a problem when too many consumers got too complacent, or at least or didn't pay attention to the reality that well, nowadays you have games that are just worse and worse, and they are not even fully there. You are forced to install the content within updates from the platform you are actually trying to play it. Xbox One, PS4, Nintendo Switch. Like I said, there are some Switch games that don't have the full games attached to the cartridge. You have to download the rest with patches. So, well, how does it play? Share screenshots from a supported support play showing Doom Dark Ages PS5 physical release contains just 85 megabytes. Stop a blocker to go online and update on disk. That means purchases of either console physical editions are required to download 85 gigabytes of data to play the game. And you remember those times when they said digital games they were going to cost less because it was less money to print all those copies and then they just cost the same. They wanted this, but even you have better options to have this game. Like I said, at least considering this, the other example of this illusion of physical media was the reboot of Call of Duty Modern Warfare. The second one and the third one. They were the physical games. They were just keys. You needed to download the rest of the fucking game. And then now with what is it, Black Ops 6, it's mom, whatever. It force you to play the offline mode always online, connected to a server. But even if you have a physical edition, yeah, it's useless. And they're not going to patch that because considering how they've been playing their cards with Warzone, Call of Duty nowadays is just a fucking platform just as Fortnite. So physical games are an illusion nowadays. Hell, even the best physical games with prior that are the Xbox 360 and PS3, because even those you can actually play the, if not almost all of them, with the version 1.0, or even some of them didn't even had that patch. They were just there, and you can play it nice, and because well they developed said games to oh well we need to really finish these games and if it breaks inside this console we're going to get screwed. But with the patches that they also facilitate those developers to oh yeah if I coded something that is wrong I just going to update it later and the vicious cycle continues. So the new follows similar criticism by players and preservationists earlier years after Bethesda released Indiana Jones and the Great Circle with just 20 gigabytes of the game's full 120 gigabytes install size on the disc. Nintendo also since pushback after announcing physical game key card Switch 2 that that only include a download kit. Yeah, that's what I said. I was ranting about that. Early signs have suggested that a significant majority of third-party publishers will release their Switch titles on games keycards at launch. It's it's to facilitate them to these companies to to not have any sort of ownership for the consumer. They don't want the consumer to have a backup of their catalog. Even look at what they did with Nintendo with their TOS. They can break your console even if they think that you are just doing something allegedly against the TOS, which is so ambiguous for the way how they rephrased all of that crap. Well, this is why AAA legacy industry deserves to fail. PC at the end of the day, many people keep repeating it. I'm as myself that this is the best outcome for anyone that really want to have games and ownership of them because well if a platform even disconnected you are going to have modders you are going to have those giga chats that track those games and preserve them. Look, even what happened with the original The Crew game, it was a live service game. It's been revived and finding ways to actually patch up the game to be played off with offline mode with all the content it was released there. Look at Need for Speed World. That game got revived by modders and still being played to this day. These AAA companies don't care about you having ownership. When the time is right for them to screw you out, say, oh yeah, we are going to remove you your license because at the end of the day, digital media is a license. But if you sure you can have the data download in your console, but it's useless. And even look how they locked down they are. You're not even going to play that shit. But that's the road is heading. And yeah, I'm not advocate for physical media, but if physical media is just going to be like this, I don't want it. I don't want it. And honestly, even I have some games that actually I could back up. Maybe I should start doing that. Since at least those games can actually play in the version 1.0. And this is this is just according to their plan. You will own nothing and you will be happy, but hey, so paying is not ownership, piracy is not stealing. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you have a pretty good day and please take care.